Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. It's fine. Like a true big shot, Fiend Yang did not care and laughed. Let them have those measly points, we'll just get them back with interest. We'll win the remaining 18 points, and that is that. 18 versus 2 points would hardly make a difference in the long run. Mystical Heaven Sect's team was itching to punch Fiend Yang into the ground. Though all they could do was sigh. They do have the power to back it up. Only Elder Yun squinted with an insidious plan cooking in his eyes. The judge shook his head. Since you're so great, please draw first. Each sect's disciple got his opponent in no time. But looking at the lineup, Elder Yun lit up. Good, we might still have a chance. Ching Cheng, I'll propose a 4-on-4 fight to the judge, so you can use the formation you're most familiar with. You need to pay attention to Lucia the most, the other 3 won't matter. Chu Ching Cheng tightened her grip on the sword and nodded. Fiend Yang was frowning. Tai Ying, Kuei Gang, you'll be up against their strongest fighters. The odds aren't certain of success. Then there's Jade Sword Fairy Shui Ruohua, the leader of Mystical Heaven Sect's 4 swords, in the 9th layer Radiant stage. Kuei Gang, can you handle it? No problem, we are geared up. Kuei Gang sounded a bit forced, but was not going to back down. Fiend Yang shook his head and sneered, and you think they aren't? Shui Ruohua's Dipper Sword is a 7th grade spiritual weapon. In the end, it'll come down to strength after all. Kuei Gang paused. Zhuo Fan smiled. It's fine since we have 6 in the ethereal stage. We just need 6 wins, and you 3 losing won't matter. Yes, master. Kuei Gang, and you lit up, relaxing. Fiend Yang rolled his eyes. Speaking of, our odds would be the best if a certain big shot would go up there, wouldn't you think? What am I supposed to do after being threatened? Zhuo Fan rolled his eyes. He could not just spill the beans on this, or the exalted double dragons would wipe them all out. That would mean breaking their rules and, while not important, it affected their name. Western Land's strongest reputation had more weight than thousands upon thousands of lives. Zhuo Fan kept mum about it, taking upon himself the role of the arrogant bastard and waving them to get a move on. Don't hold back, crush these ingrates. Fiend Yang roared. Demon Scheming Sect's team went forward with cold smiles, filled with the intent to kill. Mystical Heaven Sect side felt a chill on their backs. Bam! Qi Chonglong struck once and sent a Mystical Heaven Sect disciple out of bounds and out of this world. The judge shouted, the first fight goes to the Demon Scheming Sect. The Mystical Heaven Sect's team's face fell. They could feel the Demon Scheming Sect was out for their blood. They must be pissed for throwing them away earlier. Young Master Qi, what are you doing? Who told you to cut it so short? You're supposed to torture them, grind their bodies until they'll think again about crossing us. Fiend Yang raved as Qi Chonglong came off the stage. Qi Chonglong shrugged, sorry, I'm not a sicko with weird hobbies. Shit, and you call yourself a demonic cultivator? Where's your passion, the drive? Fiend Yang sighed. I have none. Bai Lian came over, patting his shoulder and walking on stage. She kept it just as brief and just as casual in taking the other's life and coming back down. I used to be like that, but not anymore, sorry. Gue, who in the 3rd match was much more reserved, no longer leaking his savagery all over the place. His heart was calmer as a result. He did not even kill his target, just sent him off with a heavy wound. Coming back, he was met with Fiend Yang's baffled face. He shrugged, I didn't feel like doing it. What the hell does that mean? What's that got to do with killing? Fiend Yang was stumped. Zhuo Fan smiled. Elder Yuan's teaching didn't go unheard. A tiger hunts with all its strength when it's hungry. So why go all out if the situation doesn't demand it? 4th match, Mystical Heaven Sect's Chu Qingcheng against Demon Scheming Sect's Lu Xie. The judge announced. Elder Yun jumped to his feet. Elder, Mystical Heaven Sect requests a 4-on-4 battle. 4. Fiend Yang started. Does that mean he has a formation for 4 people to use? When speaking of a sect's power, experts were valued, granted, but a formation, a combination of forces resulting in power beyond the sum of its part, was even more sought after. Thus double dragon gathering came with an exception, the formation took priority, to observe its pros and cons. Double dragon gathering had a formation as well, for scheming demons and impermanence 5 all practiced such types of arts. A pity they did not make the cut for double dragon gathering. And this was Mystical Heaven Sect's sole chance for a comeback, a formation. Declare your formation. The judge turned to Elder Yun. Elder Yun bowed and presented a jade slip. This is the 4-element cycle array the sect leader had worked with hundreds of elders and venerable to create. It harnesses the power of the world, drawing on the elements to form a flawless domain in all directions. It requires 4 maidens of special and different constitutions to practice it, to harness the primal chaos, and combine yin and yang. When they join hands, nothing can stop them. I await your orders, Exalted. The judge vanished and reappeared high above on the stands, presenting the jade slip with a bow. Exalted He Ran inspected it first, then gave it to Exalted by Mei with a smile. How curious, it's worth a look. If the might of the formation is adequate, it will be Western Land's fortune. Exalted by Mei nodded. The judge returned to the arena and flicked his hand. Mystical Heaven Sect is to prepare the formation. Demon Scheming Sect, present your fighters. Chu Qingcheng stepped on the stage with permafrost. Shui Ruohua took Dan and a girl in blue after her, all holding swords glinting in a different light. Fiend Yang's eyes shook, gnashing his teeth and turning around, to Tai Ying, Kuei Gang, and Yu. What a blunder. It never occurred to me they'd have a formation. Double Dragon Gathering is the most susceptible to formations that can boost one's power. As long as a sect comes up with one, the Exalted will allow it. While the drawing of numbers determined the formation's opponents, coming forward to test it out. This was like a 4-on-4 battle. But unlike a disorganized team of 4, a formation would crush the opposition. Especially since they had Lu Xia as the sole fighter in the ethereal stage, while the rest were in the radiant stage. Even a soul battle would be uncertain of success, now even more so. If the other side won this, they'd get 8 points, placing them right next to them, at a tie. Old Yun, has this been your plan all along? Fiend Yang flared his nostrils and spat. Lu Xia, it's all on you now. Show no mercy. No worry, going easy isn't in my vocabulary, hi. Lu Xia's eyes glinted an eerie green, taking the other 3 radiant stage teammates on the stage. Cupping her hands, Shui Ruohua stepped out. It was our fault last time and I understand your resentment. But you killed 2 of our fellow disciples. Now you're begging for mercy, ingrates? It's a little late for that. Lu Xia cut her off with little care. Shui Ruohua was about to continue when Chu Qingcheng said, Senior Sister Ruohua, it's fine. In any case, fighting in the Double Dragon Gathering is unavoidable, regardless of grudges. You're not Steward Zhuo's old friend for nothing. So you do get it. Though can I not go easy on you as well? Lu Xia mocked. Watching Zhuo Fan from afar, with his stern and unfazed expression, Chu Qingcheng chuckled, You're afraid of him? It's fine, we already decided that we each have our own life and live with no remorse. Lu Xia peeked at Zhuo Fan and eased up seeing his uncaring attitude. Doesn't look like he gives much damn about this chick, that suits me just fine. Lu Xia snickered, hope you won't hold it against me for striking the fairer sex. Lu Xia's aura exploded with the might of the 3rd layer ethereal stage as a light green miasma shot for the girls. It's his soul attack. Get in formation. Shui Ruohua cried, then Chu Qingcheng and the rest gathered around, holding their blades pointing downward as their edges flicked in a bizarre light show. With a humming sound, a barrier formed on the spot. The relentless force slammed into the barrier, yet it was akin to a breeze caressing a still lake, merely causing it to ripple. Lu Xia was bug-eyed, not expecting a formation so simple to take on a soul attack. The crowd was just as astonished. It was common knowledge a radiant stage expert was nothing to an ethereal stage expert, yet to still fight back was more than a little bizarre. Exalted double dragons were impressed. This combination art has some value. Amidst all the shock the people felt, they failed to notice Shuo's face tensing the instant Lu Xie's soul attack struck. He leaned forward and a golden halo flashed in his right eye, ready to come to the rescue. The instant he saw them fine and Shu Qingsheng bore the same calmness, he eased up. No matter what he said before Double Dragon Manor, that he and Shu Qingsheng had broken all ties, his heart could not bear it to see her suffer. The dissonance had his mind in a serious battle, to follow his lone path, or damn Lu Xie, he went for the kill. Zhuo Fan's thoughts switched to Lu Xie, glaring at him,